Working from home is pretty sick until you realize that your office is also your bedroom, your kitchen, and your entire life. And if you're not careful, that can kind of drive you crazy. I've been working from home for about 6 years now. And honestly, what I think helps is I've kind of been working from home since I was a teenager. Even when I was in high school, I used to go to coffee shops and work on my computer. Or even when I was working at a studio or in college, I would always be working on side projects on my laptop at my house. This kind of prepared me for this life that I have now of freelancing and working from home. And today I wanted to chat a little bit about what I've found that works and what doesn't. Let's get into it. So I think when you work from home, everything feels very loose. And especially if you're a freelancer, you can kind of make your own schedule and do whatever you want. So I think one of the building blocks and foundations for having a good work from home life is having a ritual. Building a good morning ritual for yourself is really grounding and has allowed me to kind of not feel like everything is crazy and all over the place. For example, like I have a morning routine and that always exists with coffee. I like to, even when it comes down to like what kind of mug I want to use, like it sounds dumb, but having stuff that you like and having this morning routine and ritual that brings you joy and helps get you ready for the day, I think is super important. For me, that always starts with the coffee. I like the ritual of grinding the beans. I like doing the pour over. And from there, I usually try to go outside and get a little bit of sun because quite honestly, I'll be inside like most of the day. And especially when it's winter and daylight savings isn't around, there's times where I wake up, I work, and I don't go outside until it's already dark. So it's important for me to like get out, get some sun, and it doesn't have to be no like crazy Andrew Huberman thing where you're staring at the sun for 5 minutes or whatever, but even just sipping on my coffee, sitting in the backyard, if you live in an apartment, walking around, whatever, just something that makes you feel a little bit more human, especially if you're about to go slave away at a computer screen for like 6 to 8 hours. But yeah, having that, having a mug that I enjoy, and I think for me, breakfast, part of my breakfast morning routine is it has to be pretty light, but also filling enough to make it so I'm not distracted and super hungry by lunchtime. And I think that is kind of a weird balance to find. You got to figure out things that work for you. I like to be really boring and ordinary with the things I eat in the morning and my morning routine and everything that goes around with that. That way, it doesn't have like a lot of clutter in my mind and not bogging me down, especially since I work for myself and I do creative work. I need more time thinking about that and less time thinking about all these mundane things. So half the time I'll eat the same protein bar, I'll drink the same protein shake, I'll eat the same cereal, same avocados, whatever it may be. I remember David Lynch had this quote. He said something like, be ordinary with your routine so you can be extraordinary with your work, and put that energy into that. If everything else is boring around you, ideally the creative energy and the fun stuff will go into the things you're making. And look, if you're an employee and you're just working from home for a job that you don't really care about, or it's something that you do like, but it's not like this creative job or this thing that takes a lot of, stress on like your soul and kind of having to come out with output of like these things. If it's just something you clock in, lock it, you know what to do, same shit every day. I still think it's good to have a routine that grounds you and makes you feel like you're doing the same thing each morning and makes you feel a little more normal. I think it's easy for people who work from home or people who work for themselves to really get distracted and really feel out of a routine and feel like days just kind of blend and go together. So it's good to have, these good start times and good things to do. And I think another thing that helps me with my kind of ritual is having good music that helps me. I like listening to music while I'm kind of getting ready for the day in the morning. I love listening to music when I'm locked in working on a design project, not editing. I do a lot of editing these days, and the one thing I hate the most about editing is you can't listen to music. Also, I like to wear comfy clothes. Like I'm on that classic meme where it's like the shirt or whatever on top, and on the bottom I'm literally wearing like Fast and the Furious fucking pajama pants right now. However, I do that most of the time, but sometimes it is good to switch it up and wear real clothes. Something about it can make you feel more productive and kind of makes you feel like you're not just a slob or whatever. Like I'll go all week wearing fucking basketball shorts and pajama pants and sweats until I go outside, you know? And sometimes that's not the move. That starts to make me feel not so confident in myself. So I think when you feel good and look good, it can, you know, go into like you making cooler stuff or you having a better performance at your job, whatever. And if you want to be comfy, be comfy. I do it most of the time. If you want to wear real clothes at your house and work that way, and that makes you feel better, you should do that too. And not only the clothes that you wear or how you do your morning ritual and present yourself, but I think your environment really matters. I think one of the most important things about working from home is having a place that you want to be and you like to work in. Being in a space that you like is crucial. Over the years, had different offices and curated them into things that I enjoy. I love my desk setup right now. I love having all these little trinkets around. I have some cool clocks, some cool like figurines and little things that I've collected over time, Legos, whatever. Just having stuff that makes you feel joyous and creative and just good. You know, even like I love my fucking mechanical keyboard. I've spent so much time having different keyboards and this and that, different switches, getting on to the nerdy aspects of it. And yeah, it is kind of like not that important, but any little thing that just gives you like a percentage piece, a little bit more of happiness or joy or whatever, I think all adds up into something pretty substantial. Having a computer that fucking works good. And I know that one sometimes can be restrictions, you know, based on money or what you can afford at the time. But even I know people who work on laptops all the time. There's something about just getting a fucking monitor and plugging the laptop in and having an actual keyboard and mouse. I'm telling you, it feels a lot better. Luckily, the Macs and stuff these days, MacBook Pros are so insane that you only really need that as your workstation. But having a way to plug it into a monitor, I think is really nice. I've had these headphones for so long. They are these biodynamic noise canceling headphones. That when I have those on, I'm fucking locked in. Like that stupid meme, like headphones on, world out, whatever. Shit's corny, but it's true. I really feel like all the little things that you can do add up and make for a better experience of you either being more creative, more productive, happier, feeling better, and also having art around your space is good. I have all these books, I have all these records, I have art that I've collected over the years, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, I could be working in an empty box in a room, but I think it feels good to express yourself and have things around you. Even if you're not recording content or whatever like me, it feels good to enjoy the place that you want to be in. I spent so much of my childhood and early teenage years not ever having places in my house where I felt like were my own. My mom would have shit everywhere, like hoarding and stuff. So it never felt like I could set up my room how I wanted, or I had a dedicated place to work and focus. So I think that has made it so I really value that nowadays. And I'm really grateful that I'm in a position now where I can have my own setup. And if you are lucky enough or have the resources to have a dedicated workspace in your home, I think that's important. Not just how cute it looks and all the cool stuff, but I have my own office and I'm so grateful for that because it helps with the separation of work and life. I think when you work from home, having a designated place to work that isn't for play, that isn't for social stuff. So there is some kind of separation between your work life and your fun and pleasure, whatever. I honestly think that's the most important thing. If you take anything from this video, it's have a dedicated workspace for work. It's that simple. If you aren't in a position right now to have the means to have an entire separate room, I understand that. Have a specific corner that does not get touched by stuff outside of work. That way, you're not moving around your entire house with your laptop, tainting every nice place that could just be for fun and relaxing with work stuff. In addition to having a designated place to work, I think it is also important to have designated times to work. If you're an employee and you work from home, this is a lot simpler, right? You have to be on the job whenever your work hours are. 8 to 5, 9 to 6, 10 to 4, whatever you work. And don't let them fucking make you work past that. It's so much easier now because they can just hit you up on Slack or Teams or whatever. I know people have PTSD from the Discord pings and the Slack noises and the Microsoft Team calls and all that. If you're in that position right now, good luck. I hate that shit. But some people make it work for them. But for me, being a freelancer and working for myself, an important thing is having actual start and stop times. I've been a little lazy lately and been waking up late and not starting work till like 11, which I don't like because I like to stop at 5. I like to kind of work when other people are working because then when I'm not working, other people aren't working too. So I can go and hang out or whatever. I think it's really good to be consistent with these start and stop times. That way you have a little bit more structure and rhythm and you know, oh, I got stuff done today. Now I can have leisure time and rest without any type of guilt. What really has helped me with the start and stop times is having something to do almost every day in the evening. When I used to not have set things in my schedule, whether it be working out, therapy, hanging out with friends, social plans, whatever, it was very easy for my work, especially nowadays in daylight savings when the sun stays up. It was very easy for me to get this time blindness and be so locked in and let my work bleed later into the night. And then I would resent it because it would become super late and I feel like I didn't get my chill time or my time to play video games or hang out or do something for fun. And when you're trying to make cool stuff, or especially in a creative field, you don't want to resent the work. You want to be excited to get back into it. So it's important to have these set hours so that you can truly lock in when you're in that mode. And when you're not, truly relax and enjoy it and reset and recharge and have this good day of hard work that creates opportunity for rest that can be enjoyed without any type of guilt. I have rock climbing and working out, all that stuff. Using a calendar. I mean, I made entire videos and podcasts about stuff like this. I think this has a lot to do with how my brain is wired, but I need shit in the calendar or else my life is chaos. I need it time blocked. I need deep work sessions. All the productivity gurus talk about. That stuff works for me. Doesn't work for everyone, but works for me. And I set aside big chunks for actual deep work where I get stuff done. And all the extra stuff can be done in the morning or in the evening. You know, the emails, the managerial stuff, Slack, whatever. I like to record in the mornings too. That's when I'm recording this. And letting other people know that you're busy, right? Not just about disciplining yourself, but being disciplined to not have other people distract you and have the boundaries there. And, you know, there's emergencies and everything isn't just about work, but I think you need to have it so you have structure and you don't just float away. You need real concrete work times that people aren't going to distract you from. And, you know, these times don't have to be traditional. If you're not an employee, you can work at night, in the morning, in the middle of the day, whatever works best for you. But I do think it's important that people know that you're working and to not treat it like, oh, well, you're just at home. You can stop and start whenever. Because when you stop working, it takes your brain like a good 10, 15, 20 minutes to get back into what you're doing. And that's just in addition to the time that whatever that distraction was, whatever that took. Especially when you work for yourself, you really have to have things set in place that work for you. It's not just discipline. Discipline can be hard sometimes. You have to minimize distractions. I keep my phone away. I try to keep it on Do Not Disturb, like pretty much since the last few years. I try to put it out of arm's reach, things like that. I try to not have a lot of things on my browser or tabs that will distract me. It's really hard to work on your phone and computer all day and not get distracted doing classic phone and computer shit. But I try my best to not procrastinate on the internet with my phone and all that. Doesn't always work. I could be better, but it is what it is. When you're working from home all the time, especially when you're sitting on your ass like me in a chair for most of the time, It's so easy to become a houseplant, but we do not want that to happen. You need to go outside, you need to move around, and if you have the means and health to, I think you're doing a disservice to yourself by not doing it. I spent so many years of my even healthier years now that I'm feeling a little bit more like an unk in my later 20s, I regret not moving around and being physical more when I was in my early 20s. Get outside, walk around, take breaks, even take a break for your eyes. There's something that I learned that you can do if you're staring at a screen all day like me. Every 30 minutes to an hour, look outside your window or go outside and look at something really far. It helps your brain reset and reset your eyes, and they feel better besides staring at this weird 3D ether box all the time. That's why, in addition to I was saying, I have stuff to do every day. It doesn't have to be physical, like working out aggressive, but Monday and Wednesdays, I'll either work out or go climbing, and preferably outside. I'll go for walks on other days. On the days I go to therapy and stuff like that, I try to walk around or do the sauna. I go to a brewery every Thursday and play trivia with my homies, and that just lets me have something to look forward to, be outside, recharge, reset. I try to hang out with my friends and my wife as much as I can on the weekends and in the evenings. And honestly, if I didn't do this stuff, I would straight up probably walk like a couple hundred steps max per day. Luckily, I have stairs at least to go downstairs and walk around, but I would probably not even leave the house with all these conveniences that the world has offered us if I didn't have to. Like I could straight up get up, make breakfast, work all day, order lunch, work, play video games at night, order food, watch TV, go to bed. I could do that. And I have done that shit before when I'm a little bit more sad and when I'm rotting. But ideally, I'm not. I like to move around, and I think that working from home is dope, but sometimes you feel like you can never actually leave. So you need to get out of the house and do stuff. Here's the thing too. I don't want to make this sound like working from home is some kind of prison, or it's so hard for me to have to commute 15 seconds from my bedroom to my office. Working from home, and especially working for myself, is one of the greatest accomplishments that I feel like I've completed in my life that makes my daily life more enjoyable and better. I love not having a direct boss. I love being able to work in the hours that I want, even though they are a little bit more traditional. And I love being able to work from home, and I love how convenient it is. All the pros outweigh a lot of the cons. So there is positives to this. And if you do have the luxury of working from home, especially if you don't have to commute out here in LA and in Southern California, take advantage of working from home. Cook good meals. Work on those hobbies that you've always wanted to do and those little breaks in the meantime, in the middle of the day. Wear comfy clothes if you can. Did you have to work as a corporate person and wear a fucking suit all day and go to board meetings or whatever? Don't do that anymore. Wear the fucking Adam Sandler outfit with the baggy shirts and the baggy gym shorts. Or did you have to work really hard blue collar labor construction jobs? Take advantage of letting your body rest and relax and be able to, maybe your fucking neck you'll get hurt or whatever, but at least you're not from all that tech shit, but maybe you don't have to put your body as much harm. And go outside, take a break, take advantage of the things that are allowed when no one's directly fucking watching over you, to making sure you are just this little cog in this machine. And stare off in the distance, like I was saying, after you look at the computer too long, and just allow yourself some freedom to disassociate a little bit. And I think that there is so many pros and cons to most things that we do in life, but working from home, I think, does have a lot of benefits, and I think it's good to remember them and enjoy them and find the beauty in all the things. Most people don't have the privilege of getting into work from home. A lot of people have to go and clock in at a job that's far away from their house that they don't particularly like to do. Don't take it for granted, and you're doing a disservice to those people by not living it to the fullest and fully enjoying it. I think personally, the best part about working from home by far is having energy to do stuff that isn't work. When I worked at an office, I would work so much and the commute would drain me. And I remember when I was commuting to my first internship after college in Long Beach, I'd have to get up so early, drive an hour and a half. I'd get off tired, drive an hour and a half home in traffic. And I remember sitting there like, damn, this is, I literally thought, fuck, this is just life, I guess. Now I'm a grown up. College was cool. High school was cool. This kind of sucks. All I'm doing is working for the weekend. And you finally get to the weekend. And half the time I wouldn't do shit. I wouldn't go to concerts. I wouldn't go to parties. I wouldn't hang out at the bars or do the fun stuff I wanted to do because work fucking stole all my energy all week. All I wanted to do was chill. Like, that's how shitty some jobs can be and how overworked people are here, and especially in the US, that sometimes all you dream about is doing nothing on the weekends. And that's not the type of life I want to be living these days. I don't want the most exciting thing for me to look forward to is nothing, just sitting there or relaxing or rotting or watching TV or YouTube. The past years I've been working from home. It's really cool because if I don't go to a social event or if I turn something down, it's really because I don't want to. I have so much more energy to do all the things I want to do on the weekdays in the evening or on the weekends, whenever it is. It's so cool to not be entirely drained from work that you actually want to go out and hang out on the weekends. And I still get my time to like recharge in between. So I can have a good work week, enjoyable, fun end of the week and weekend, and redo it. And sometimes my life does feel kind of cyclical and does feel kind of like I'm doing the same things. But then I try to reframe it like, yeah, I'm doing the same things all the time because they're things I like to do and it feels good and it's fun, and I think I'm really enjoying these parts of my life and trying to live it up as much as I can. And I think the biggest downside I have a problem with that I want to get better at and make sure that hopefully other people aren't doing this too much is if you do work for yourself, if you're a freelancer, an artist, you make content, you run your own business, whatever, please come up with ways that make this sustainable for you. I've been through these crazy locked in burnout periods, and sure, they have ultimately rewarded me with some things, but I don't think it was worth it in the long run. It's so much better to have a sustainable work-life balance and schedule so you don't burn out, so you can continue to do something for years and years. I think people finally pursue the things that they really want to do and they really enjoy, but they don't know how to set up the more practical guardrails, or they work too hard, or they get too distracted and they burn out and they don't want to do it. And they were really talented or they're really good at this thing, and now it went to shit, not because they weren't able to do it or they couldn't handle it, but they just didn't have the right systems in place, you know. And I have this bad habit of really trying to get ahead. If I have extra time on a Monday, I'll be like, oh, I can work more now, and then Tuesday and Wednesday or Thursday or whatever, I'll have less to do. But then I just work just as much those other days anyway. There's always more to do because half the shit I'm doing, I'm making up and doing for myself. No one's forcing me to make videos like this. Like, yeah, when I have client work and client projects in my graphic design business, that's more like I'm required or whatever, but I can turn down or accept whatever. So I need to wrap it around my head that there is no fully getting ahead. So I should work at a more sustainable pace. And I'm talking about this from past experience and trying to get better at that. And if anyone is struggling with that too, hopefully is a, what do you call it? Wake up call to work a little bit more sustainable and love yourself a little bit more and respect your own boundaries of work-life balance. And, you know, it took me a while to learn all this stuff, and I'm still learning it to this day. I don't think I have it fully figured out. I don't think I'm some work from home guru or expert, but I just wanted to share with you a little bit of stuff that's worked for me and some stuff that I've noticed as problematic. If some of this stuff doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. If it does, cool. Take the things that work, and the rest, just fuck it, disregard it. And again, thank you for listening to Glue FM. I hope you enjoyed this one. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, rate on the audio platforms, and I'll catch you in the next one. Much love. Peace.